All right, everyone, welcome back to the Dynasty Show. So today we're going to be covering last night's game. I'm going to try to do this as often as I can to break down a recent game. I unfortunately was working during the first half of the game, but the second I got home, I tuned in and I watched a little recap, and I also watched the full game footage after the fact. So after I did that, I put together this video. Now, if you watched my last two, you know I like to put highlights related to the subject. Unfortunately, the NBA has copyright claimed both those videos, and I filed a dispute, but there's not much I could do since the fact, at the start of every broadcast, it says they have the right to do so. I feel like they fall under fair use, but that's a different subject that I could potentially do a video on the other day, or another day. My apologies. Anyways, to bring it back to this video, though, this will be an audio-only experience. So sit back, relax, put me in the background if you want to. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about last night's Lakers versus Celtics games, which was a really good game. Not just because the Celtics pulled off a smart 111-101 victory, but also the Lakers had their own injury case, unfortunately, within LeBron James having a strained groin, and then you had Austin Reeves out by the end of the game, along with Jackson Hayes. Is that correct? Yes, Jackson Hayes was out as well, with Rui Hachimura having to sit out. And today we're just going to be breaking down every thrilling moment, celebrate the Celtics' success last night. And even though I'm a Lakers fan, I'm going to have to give the Celtics their flowers when they were due. And, with this channel, I have to remain unbiased. So, let's talk about the Celtics' success and just take a look at the mishaps that left the Lakers scrambling. And so, this brings us to setting the stage. The Celtics showed up with a well-oiled machine mentally. And what I noticed is a big part of the Lakers' offense and defense comes off of how they've recently mentally upped everything. And I think that Luka trade just sparked the 8-game winning streak that they had, and it was Luka's longest winning streak of his entire career, according to Bleacher Report, ESPN, and SportsCenter. But unfortunately, it ended tonight due to the defending champs being the Boston Celtics just dominating. They proved their championship mindset by locking down on the defense as they hit all the threes they needed, and they made every possession count. I'd say a big detail too, or a big key factor, sorry I'm rambling all over the place, I'd say would be the Lakers' turnovers. The Lakers just, I don't know what it is, they just always turn over the ball, except it's been really bad. I mean, the past few games, I'd say the only negative since Luka became a Laker is that everyone's just turning the ball over. I mean, like I said, though, this has been a Laker thing the past few seasons. Even when they won the championship, there was a ton of turnovers. And with all due respect, LeBron is a legend, living legend. He gets too much hate for the greatness he brings to the game and the way he loves the game. However, you can't deny he's the leading, I guess it won't be scorer, but he's the leading NBA player when it comes to turnovers. There we go. That's how I would word it. So, they just keep struggling on that end, and the Celtics took advantage of each turnover, and, it just sucked. So while the Celtics kept celebrating their success, the Lakers, unfortunately, just kept turning the ball over and added injuries to their injury list, which brings me into diving a little deep into the injury report. So Jackson Hayes, he, from what I am aware of, twisted his ankle, and Rui Hachimura also suffered an injury. Him I'm going to do more research on because I want to do a video on Rui Hachimura. I've loved him since he was in the Wizards. But I believe his injury was a pulled hamstring, which makes me very sad. I hope he could come back soon and be okay. He's a great player, one of my favorite players to watch. I love his game. And then Austin Reeves, unfortunately, wasn't spared. However, it was a minor collision that resulted in a more questionable scrape. Again, I hope those guys are okay. And then, LeBron James, unfortunately, his age continues to show. He had an almost MVP season back in 2019 to 2020. He was not leading, but I believe he was in the top two in the race of the MVP that year. But again, he not tore, that would be terrible. But I believe it was the same injury, but much worse. He was projected to almost be out for a month, I believe, to a couple. But then COVID came, saved it. We all know how that season ended. But yeah, LeBron's groin has been on the radar the past few years. I feel like every time he has an injury, it has something to do with his groin, and it sets him back, and it sets the Lakers back all the time. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that in the last 4 seasons of such a great athlete of all time, I said great athlete. I didn't say greatest. I'm not going to get controversial on this channel. That's subjective. Anyways, though, one of the great athletes of all time. And yeah, it's just unfortunate, plagued by that groin. I hope he gets okay. He's supposed to be out for a couple weeks. It's just sucks. A lot of players I love to watch this season, LeBron and Vic, they keep getting Victor's injuries out for the season. Sad thing for such a young, great athlete. But yeah, LeBron, I hope he gets better. He just got Player of the Month. He's been playing phenomenal basketball. Hopefully when he comes back, he could ease back into being the great athlete he is. Anyways, moving on, time to give credit where credit is, in fact, due. The Boston Celtics were on fire, and they just flowed amazing when it came to offense. Their defense was also tight as a drum, continuing to force the Lakers to keep making turnovers. Drew Holiday, amazing point guard, amazing defender. He's phenomenal at his game. You definitely don't want to sleep on him when it comes to defense. Or I guess what would it be? You don't want to sleep on him while you're on offense and he's guarding you. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, basically every time the Lakers faltered, Boston just pounced, and they showed why they're considered one of the most elite teams in the league right now. And yeah, the Boston Celtics, I mean, what more do I have to say? However, I will say, though, they almost pulled a Cleveland game. And I say this because against the Cavaliers, they blew such a big lead and lost. Celtics, that will be my one knock on them. They were just so great that I feel like sometimes they get a little too ahead of themselves. They play too close sometimes. And yeah, it happened here again. They blew almost a 20-point lead. But, Lakers, they fought hard. When things were against them, Luka fought hard. Again, it was a great game filled with heart, and but no matter how much heart the Lakers gave, I apologize, Celtics, man, they killed it again, and they increased it from a 4-point lead to 10-point win by the end of the game. But yeah, seriously, last night's game had more plot twists than a prime TV drama. I just say that because, great game. You thought the Lakers were down, and then they came back, but then there was injuries. And, yeah, to sum it up, last night's game was just a roller coaster. I'm sure the NBA is so happy right now, though, with the ratings that they probably just got from this new Lakers roster playing against the defending champs Celtics. This does nothing but benefit the game of basketball. And in summary, the Celtics' 111-101 victory was well-deserved, in my opinion, and it showcases their tactical brilliance and team chemistry. Meanwhile, the Lakers, they just are facing a rough patch right now with key injuries that could impact their performance moving forward. I just wish the game we love wasn't always affected by injuries, but that's part of the game. And what do you think? Can the Lakers bounce back, or will these injuries spell further trouble? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth NBA analyses, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat. This was the Dynasty Show. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.